Yeah, I would.
Then
Well,
that
you
will be
may or may
automatically a
not.
couple hundred millions of that are of capitalization.
Well, it would give you assets, not necessarily capital. My thing about that is those loans would have to be underwritten to federal guidelines. You'd have to make sure they're not going to be a problem for you. In other words, you may want to have that portfolio analyzed for one. I'll just give you one example would be credit score, because if it's all like say A credit, then you could probably get away with a minimum amount of provision for that credit card portfolio. But if you find out that credit card portfolio is not so good, they might want more.
Okay.
You'd want to know if you're going to do what you said. Bring over an existing the bank would be buying that right from the client's business, whatever it is now. The bank would be doing an asset purchase, and they would be bringing that in. And I can't really off the top of my head. That's why you need a good accounting firm. But how you would bring that loan? What number is that loan worth? You know what I mean? I don't know if it's not as easy as you think. Like it's not just whatever the note is or whatever. There's more to it. I'll just say that.
Okay, got it. So it's like a fraction of that, some fraction of that loan amount that can be moved over to bank versus cannot, right?
Yeah, kind of like a buying a bond or something. Like you're revaluing it,
Got it. Understand. Thank you. So moving on to the operating cost side. So everyone says when you build a bank, a regulatory requirement is burdensome. So what kind of cost does it incur every year?
Well, you had all your operating fees to deal with all the regulators we just talked about. So you got your FDIC, your OCC fees, but your bigger cost is going to be probably your labor, right? Labor is usually the largest thing. So you've got to have some personnel to run this thing. So, and your professional expenses are going to be pretty big those first few years, right? Because you got all this stuff you got to put together. And you may need some consultants to help you put your policies, whatever. So labor is going to get you, though, because you got to hire maybe a president. You've got to have a CFO, maybe a compliance/fraud type person, to keep you out of trouble there. Anyway, my guesstimate would be to get going probably $1.5 million just on labor.
Okay,
maybe even more. I mean, depending on how you're taking those deposits. Now, your other big expense is buying your computer system. Now, one of the benefits for being new is you can buy the low-cost computer systems now, cloud-based, and not have all that infrastructure that the old banks, like the Wells Fargos and stuff have, all this old infrastructure. So you start efficient.
Okay.
And, you'd have to get a quote from a couple places and find out, But, I mean, operating a computer system is another $250,000 a year. Easy.
Yeah, got it. So when you say for your bank, the bank you have been working at in the past, how much would the regulatory related fee be in the P&L?
I'm trying to remember. For us, again, just base this on $100 million just for fun, but I would say $75,000 just for that.
$75,000 for
between your just your operating fee, which goes to the OCC. And again, it's two factors. You have to look at your FDIC risk factor and then your asset base. So it kind of hits you, two ways, like how big you are and then how risky you are.
Okay,
the
so if
bigger you are, the more it's going to cost you.
Got it. So if you were a bigger bank, what would be the potential amount that you have to pay?
I mean, again, it's a percentage. So take that $100 million was 0.75. So, if you're going to be $1 billion, then you're looking at $750,000 in just operating fees.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
$1 billion to be you said 0.75%, right? Or basis? Yeah, 0.5%. Yeah, okay. So 75 basis points, then that's going to be 0.75% multiplied by 1 billion.
Yeah.
Will be, 1 second. 7.5 million?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. So 7.5 million.
Sounds more right than the 750,000. Yeah. So
okay.
Right. So so just and that you may be able to go to the FBI website or